Hey there, everybody. Thought I would put out a poll question, for lack of a better term, of what this little short video is going to be. I've got some time tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow being Friday, the 27th of October, I believe it is. I've got some time to play a game live streaming on the Strat B.A.T.S first round tournament, basic version. And I've got the teams all lined up, and I've got my lineups all set to go. But I thought I would give you guys an opportunity to chime in as to which game you might prefer to see. So I'll give you the possibilities and the lineups that are going to be that I've already picked out for the two teams. And then if you just want to either comment on the video or if you follow or see me on the Facebook page, you can do something there as well. Probably the easiest thing is just to chime in on the video and say, hey, how about this game or whatever. And if I don't get anything or get very few, then I'll just, pick one on my own. But I thought I would just put it out there and see if there's any game out there that really strikes a chord with anyone. First game I have in the query as a possibility, and I'm calling this the redemption game because it's the Chicago White Sox and the Cincinnati Reds. And the reason why I call it redemption is, if you remember correctly, the Chicago Black Sox from 1919 lost or threw the World Series to the Cincinnati Reds of 1919. I think they were Cincinnati Redlegs back then. So this time the White Sox are looking for redemption against the Reds. So it's the White Sox against the Reds. And this is the lineups, or these are the lineups that I've picked out for this game. It'll be Eddie Cicotti on the mound for the White Sox against Jose Rijo from the Reds. And you see the years for the individual players and how they're going to be all set up. The White Sox are pretty formidable at the front end of the lineup. After you get past Harold Baines, it's a little light, but that's just the way it goes. The Reds are loaded all the way through. If you've got Todd Frazier and Barry Larkin hitting 7th and 8th in your lineup, that tells you what a potent lineup that the Reds have. Although the White Sox may have an edge on the pitching, so it remains to be seen on that. So that's option number one. Option number two pits the Pittsburgh Pirates against the Giants, either from New York or San Francisco. So there's the starting lineups there. I've got John Candelaria from his 1977 season going against Juan Marichal from his 1969 season. And in the Giants lineup, leading off 1-2 is Bobby and Barry Bonds, with the godfather of Barry Bonds, Willie Mays, hitting third. So you've got kind of a family affair there in reference or in deference to the We Are family. We've got also another We Are family here. So I guess we could call this the family game. And that would be the Pirates against the Giants. And just looking at the lineups here, the Pirates are kind of loaded up top, but toward the bottom, Jason Kendall and Johnny Ray, they're pretty good, but not that great. You got Buster Posey and Jeff Kent hitting 6th and 7th in your lineup. That's pretty good for the Giants. So I'm not sure who would have the advantage there. I'm thinking the Giants just on paper, but that's why they play the games. All right, the next one is going to be the Philadelphia Phillies and the Los Angeles/Brooklyn Dodgers. And we're going to have two lefties on the mound, Steve Carlton of 77 and Clayton Kershaw from 2014. I did add Sandy Koufax to the roster from his 61 season, but actually in 61 he was okay, but he wasn't the dominant Koufax. So actually Kershaw beat out Oral Hershiser for the opening day or first round starts in this one, and Steve Carlton had to nudge out Robin Roberts for the starting nod there, as well as Cole Hamels and also Cliff Lee. All right, so you see the starting lineups there for each team. They didn't really have a right fielder for the Phillies, so I kind of fudged it a little bit because John Kruk did play a little bit of right field. So I went ahead and put him in the lineup, but really they didn't have a particular right fielder to go to. Lazinski's a left fielder. Richie Ashburn always played center. And in the bench on their outfielders, without looking at the lineup in front of me. I think it was Pat Burrell, and there's one other guy I'm forgetting, Del Ennis, and neither one of them played right field either. So kind of had to fudge the lineup a little bit. And therefore, the Dodgers, you see Jackie Robinson in the leadoff position. A lot of 50s. 5 of the 9 starters, well, 5 of the 8 position players are from either 53 or 55. So going old school with the Dodgers in this one, only new additions are Adrian Beltre, Corey Seager, and Davey Lopes. And Pedro Guerrero, of course, in the DH slot. So I guess it is technically 9 batters because we are using DH. So 5 of the 9 are from the 50s. Not sure that I don't have a slick name to call this game. It's just Phillies versus Dodgers, lefty versus lefty. Maybe that's a good way to call it, lefty versus lefty. All right, the next possibility is the Oakland A's versus the St. Louis Cardinals. And that's Catfish Hunter against Bob Gibson. Interesting pitching matchup there. As far as the lineups go, looking at the lineups, Pujols, Stan Musial played first base and right field, but I really wanted to get Keith Hernandez in the lineup because he had that co-MVP season. So I went and moved Musial to right field, and Keith Hernandez put him in at first. And obviously, the thing that stands out in this game, or at least in these lineups to me, is the top of the order. You've got 2 of the greatest base stealers of all time in Ricky Henderson and Lou Brock. So they are there to try to set the table, see what they can do. Let's see if there's anything else. I don't think there's anything else dramatically on this one. I do have Reggie Jackson in center field. In '69, I believe he played right field and center field. But I really don't have a center fielder for the A's, unless you put Ricky Henderson out there. But I think he mainly played left. I could go back and look at their cards and see if I need to tweak anything, but that's just what I've got. And let's see here, anything else interesting? Probably not. All right, so the intrigue of that one, I guess, is the top of the order with the 2 base stealers. So that could be the base thief bowl, or whatever you want to call it. And the last possibility is the 1986 redemption, maybe you want to call it, the Mets and the Red Sox. Tom Terrific Seaver against Roger Clemens. And I had to do some tweaking in this lineup as well. Lee Mazzilli really played center field in '79, but I don't have a left fielder for the Mets on their roster. All their outfielders I have are either right fielders or center fielders. So I went ahead and put Mazzilli in left. I don't think that's too big of a stretch. And then, of course, at the top of the order for the Red Sox, you have Boggs and Williams. So 2 of the best technical, scientific hitters of all time right there in the top 2. And then you got the impossible dream season of Yaz right there behind him. See, we got some more recent flavor there with Big Papi and Manny Ramirez right smack dab in the middle of the order. But when you have Nomar Garcia-Parra batting 8th, that's a pretty potent lineup. That's all that's an obvious observation there. So that's it. Those are your choices. The Mets, Red Sox, A's, Cardinals, Phillies, Dodgers, Giants, Pirates, or White Sox, Reds. Let me know either this afternoon or this evening. Certainly by tomorrow morning, because when I leave for work tomorrow morning, I've got to take the card sets with me so I can play after work, because I'm going straight from work. There's a couple hour lapse, and then I'm going to a football game. So I'm going to have some time at work to bring these. And I really only want to collate and bring at most 2. I might bring 2 sets because since these basic games go by pretty fast, I might be able to sneak in 2 games. So I could do a live stream doubleheader. So the top 2 vote getters will possibly get a doubleheader. Certainly the top vote getter will get the first game, and then if I have time, I'll sneak in a second game. So those are the potential matchups. The only one I didn't list that's still out there is the Indians and the Orioles. Haven't set up their lineups yet and everything to see what I want to do with that. But, if that's intriguing, then by all means, give me a nod on that also. And of course, the other game is has already been played, Yankees and Cubs. So that's what I got, and let me know. And if you get a chance to see this, hopefully you catch this sometime this afternoon or this evening. And so when I wake up in the morning, I'm going to go with whatever I have and just pull those teams before I leave the house, and that's what we'll go with. And then, of course, look for a live stream video tomorrow afternoon, sometime roughly around 3 o'clock Eastern Time. And hopefully, if I can get 2 in, I'll try to get 2 in. As Ernie Banks says, let's play 2. So that's what we'll do to give it a go. And the other teams the other one I don't have out here either, I forgot to bring out, and I don't have them formulated yet either, I don't believe, is the Milwaukee/Atlanta Braves against the Tigers. So that's another possibility. And so you got these 5. You got the one I already played, Yankees and Cubs, which is 6. And then the 7th one is Tigers, Braves. And then the 8th one is Indians, Orioles. So that makes the first 8 games of the 16-team double elimination tournament. And then once that all gets settled and the dust is cleared, we'll have winners brackets and losers brackets and continue from there. So once I get the first games played, it'll go by a lot faster because right now I'm still in the collating stage of having to go pull all these players out of all their team sets, and that's what's time consuming. So I'll do that tonight for all of these teams, and then I'll pull the two team matchups that get the most votes. Or if I don't get any votes, then I'll just pull the 2 that seem the most intriguing to me. So until next time, hope you all have a great day, doing whatever you choose to do, whatever game you choose to play. And I'll be playing at least 1 game live stream tomorrow around 3 Eastern. Don't know, might be able to fit 2, like I said, depending on how it goes, how swift it goes and whatnot. Basic seems to run pretty fast, so that's a good possibility. But hope you guys have a great day. Tomorrow's Friday, TGIF. So look forward to that. And tomorrow is also Game 3 of the World Series, which I don't have a dog in the fight. I just hope it goes 7 games and it's a good series. I really enjoyed Game 1. I love pitchers' duels. Game 2 is a little bit, a lot of offense in it, obviously, but I really enjoyed Game 1. It was just a nice, solid, old-fashioned pitching duel. So I'm going to go ahead and get back to work. Break is over. And I'll wait to see what everyone votes on. If they do in fact vote. If not, like I said, I'll just pick 2 and pick the 2 that interest me the most and just put them out there. So everybody have a great day, and I will catch you all, I would say down the road, but I'll catch you all tomorrow.